Hello, I'm Yvonne Akimoden and I'm a career coach. I work with people over 40. I help them find their dream career. And today I want to talk to you about a 3-step career plan that you can put in place straight away that will help you find the career of your dreams. Now, before we do that, I just want to ask a quick question. How many of you out there have thought, I really don't want to do what I'm doing now. I really want to change. I want to do something different, but I don't know what that thing is. I don't know what it would look like. I don't have the skills. I don't feel I have the confidence to make that change. Now, I come across this all the time. As a career coach, I work with people in their 40s, and some of the biggest things that they worry about is a lack of clarity about what they want to do. For some of them, it's about not having the confidence to make the change. And for some of them, it's about not knowing where to start. So in this video today, I'm just going to talk you through 3 simple things that you can put in place that will provide you with the confidence, the tools, and the clarity to go ahead and make that career change if that's what you want. So let's get started. Now, the first thing that I'm going to talk to you about as part of your career change is understanding what you bring to the table. So the first thing that you need to understand is, what is it that you are looking for? What are the things that you value? So what are your personal values? What are the things that you hold important? And so, for example, for some of us, the thing that is important to us as a value is family, or it could be that the thing that's important to us is working in an organization that we deem to be one that gives something back. So it's an organization that is caring, it's an organization where there is a community spirit, and those things are important to us. So it's understanding what are the things that matter to you. What kind of organization would you work in where the values of that organization align with your personal values? And sometimes with values, they change. So what's important to you today might not be the thing that's important to you in later years. In later years, the thing that's most important to you might be the fact that you're looking much more for work-life balance. It could be that you're looking much more for opportunities to develop yourself. It could be that your values are very much focused around giving back. So your values change. Our values, a lot of us, our values do change as we get older because certain circumstances and things in our life make a difference. One of the classic things that sometimes changes for a lot of us is the needs to make money. When you're younger, chances are you're looking for that next promotion, that next opportunity to walk up the corporate ladder. So for someone in that position, the thing that's most important to you is going to be, how do I earn more money? What kind of opportunities are out there? That's the drive and that's the motivation that you have. As you get older, it may be that it's really just about having a stable income and having work-life balance so that you can spend time with your family or other commitments that you have outside of work. So what is important to you will change or can change, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think the important thing is knowing what it is that you value, because once you understand that, it will help you in eliminating certain organizations or certain sectors or certain opportunities that are there. And it will help you provide greater clarity around what you really want to do and what's important to you and what you want going forward in your career. So the values piece is a really important part of your journey when you're looking at career change. The second thing that's a really important part of your plan when you're looking at a career change is knowing what you bring to the table. Now, I spend a lot of time talking to career changers, and a lot of the time they say to me, well, I don't have skills. I have been out of work for a while, or I've worked in the same organization for a while, or my skills are not up to date. All sorts of reasons. People might say, for these reasons, I don't feel that I have anything that I can offer to a future employer. And it's unfortunate that people sometimes feel that way, because we all have something to offer. And especially if you've been working for a while, even if you have taken time out, perhaps to raise your children or look after elderly parents, or whatever the reason might be, you may have taken some time out of work to do that. But that doesn't mean that you don't have skills. They're just not skills that you necessarily identify with in a workplace. So some kind of skills that you would have might be that you're very conscious of money, so you have good budgeting skills. It could be that you have skills around organizational skills, so that you're having to organize life for your children, you're having to organize, maybe you've got elderly parents or you've got elderly relatives, and you're juggling a number of different things. And if you just think about those, they do translate into the world of work. So the kind of job that you might be looking at, for example, might require good organizational skills. A project management role might require good organizational skills. So you've got those skills that you can bring into the workplace, and it's just making that connection. So one of the first things you need to do before you begin looking at roles and looking at opportunities and careers is to identify and list all the skills that you have. And sometimes you might need to do this over a period of time. I would suggest that you make a list, you go away, have a think about it, and maybe after a day or two, you come back and you'll be surprised that you will find other things that you need to add to that list. So it might take you 2, 3, maybe even 4 sessions before you come up with a list of things that you want to do that really address all the skills that you have, all the experience that you have, all the knowledge that you have. And that will be, again, a good basis for you identifying what kind of roles you might be looking for, what kind of career you might be looking for. So if you take that and add that to the work that you would have done around your values and what's important to you in the workplace, you're beginning to start to find that you will shape the kind of organization, the kind of jobs, the kind of experiences, the kind of interests that you want in any future career that you go for. The third and final piece that really brings it all together is doing some research. So you're starting to get an idea of what skills you have. You're starting to get an idea of the kind of organization that you want to work with. You're starting to get an idea of the things that are important to you, the kind of things that you might be looking for. And also you're identifying where there might be gaps. So if you decide that you want ultimately to go into a role that has project management skills, and yes, you may have some, but not all, you might identify that there's a gap there. And it's very easy to plug some of these gaps. Some of them really just require you to put extra time in learning a skill around project management, for instance. Maybe you need to brush up on IT skills, whatever it might be. Some of it is about understanding what the gaps are so that you can fill those gaps with some experience that you gain through doing online courses or any other route. Some of it might be things that you can gain through working with other colleagues in the workplace as well. So these are all skills that you can bring to the table. And the third piece really is just researching. So you've got an idea of what you want, you've got an idea of where the skills gaps are. Now, bringing all of that together, the final piece really is, how do I start looking for the things that matter to me? And because you would have done all this work in advance, what you will find is that you will immediately start sifting through jobs. There will be opportunities that you come across, and you will begin to see the ones that really don't fit, because you know what your values are, you know what skills you have, and you know where the gaps are. and you'll be able to say, right, the gap between where I am and what I'm looking to bring are different. I cannot meet the skills for a particular kind of role, so that's not the role you're going to go for. You might feel that the gap between where you are and where you want to be is a small one. And in those cases, you might say, well, actually, I think this is something I can do. Yes, I need to gain a bit more experience, or I need a bit more exposure, but at least I can start. And what you will end up with is you start to find that you will build a list of opportunities, from jobs to careers, and you will start to build a long list. And over time, what you then need to do is start to narrow that. So you start working on your skills, the gaps, opportunities that are out there, and you start to narrow it, and you start to hone it. And you start also, as part of your research, if you have got to a stage where you've been able to narrow the skills down to a specific sector, then the real work then is taking that opportunity to go out there and start inquiring, how do I build on this knowledge? How do I build on this? And talk to people who are in the sector. You may have friends who are in the sector already. Talk to them. If you don't have friends in the sector, maybe it's about talking to other people who are able to introduce you to people in the sector. And you slowly begin to build that wealth of experience, that wealth of knowledge, that understanding of the opportunities that are out there. And with that knowledge and with that skills, you will equip yourself to be able to apply for jobs in that area. And sometimes you may find that when you do apply for the jobs, when you're coming into those roles, to begin with, they're not really, you're struggling because you don't have a huge amount of experience. So you may have to come in at a more junior level, but your enthusiasm and your past experience will help you if you're looking to move forward in that career. So these are the things that are quite important that you need to look at. And if you follow that 3-step plan of knowing your values, knowing what you bring to the table, and doing your research, you will find that it will start to shape opportunities for you to develop and grow in a new role. So I hope you found this video to be informative. I hope you've learned some things from it. Do join our Facebook group, which is Career Changes 40 over 40. That I will put the link on this video. So please do join. We'd love to have you in the group. And we hope that you find this informative and it helps you as part of your career journey. Thank you again.